me. I am very proud to be able to present on behalf of the Maryland Gerentology Association Board of Directors the program award to the Govans Ecumenical Development Corporation. Actually, Mitch, do you want to come up? Mitch Posner, who's the executive director. This award is given each year in recognition of exceptional service on the part of a program to Maryland's older adults and their caregiving families. And I became aware of Govans Ecumenical Development Corporation, or GEDCO, at least 20 years ago. There was a presentation by Mitch's predecessor, Julia Pearson, at the University of Maryland, at the time of Maryland Charities. And she told a story. She told the story of GEDCO and its mission to extend services to its neighborhood with this coalition of churches and in the area of Baltimore, sort of on the eastern edge, northeast corner, north-south, anyway, up New York Road and Green Mountain Avenue. And their mission was to provide decent housing, provide food through its food pantry. But the thing, of course, as a gerontologist that also attracted me is that GEDCO recognizes a very important part of the community is the issues involved with older adults with low income, the need for decent housing. And they developed first Epiphany House, and then the Gallagher Mansion, and then about 8 years ago, Stadium Place opened up on the site of the old Memorial Stadium on 33rd Street in Baltimore. And in early 2012, they'll be opening up a greenhouse, which will be a long-term care facility, which will really look at the personal care needs of the individual. And this, to me, speaks so beautifully of the long-term embrace GEDCO out of their community in an extremely sincere way. And I couldn't be more proud than to present this award on behalf of the board to Mitch Posner on behalf of his wonderful organization.
Thank you, Reva, and to the board. I look around this room and I do know I've had the good fortune in my now almost 7 years as taking over from Julia Pearson, the executive directorship of this organization, to get to know some of the people and organizations reflected here, not the least of which Secretary Lawla, Eileen from the Department of Aging, and many others of you here. And I can tell you, at least, that this is not about Mitch Posner. This is about a huge group of people and coalition of organizations coming together. But on a personal level, I don't know this much about aging as the people in this room who are bestowing this award on this organization I have the privilege to lead. So it's quite an honor, and it's been a wonderful 7 years, and I look forward to many more of cooperating and collaborating with all of you. So, but this award, there are 3 people in the audience here who do need to be recognized because they are the people who really are our leadership in terms of serving the older adults that we serve through our programs at Epiphany House, Gallagher Mansion, and Stadium Place. And Ted Gross is here with his flip cam so we can post this on our website tomorrow. And somewhere in the room is Alda James. Alda. Alda, not surprisingly, at the back of the room, but she, I fondly refer to Alda as the then mother of Stadium Place. And Beth Slepian, who also works with us as a service coordinator at Stadium Place. And I want to take 1 minute to tell you the story that Julia told a little bit about years ago, but really I hope to have Reverend Jack Sharp with me this afternoon. Some of you know the role that he played, and it really, he was sitting in a meeting of a ministerium of 7 ministers, interfaith ministers, in the Govans corridor about 25 years ago, and they recognized the need to provide affordable housing for low-income, frail elderly in their own congregations, They bootstrapped together $10,000 to put a deposit on an old pre-Civil War building. They found funding for consultants and to get the building built. And I come from a real estate background. I can tell you it was a quite complicated and difficult real estate transaction in addition to the services. They celebrated the opening of what's today called Tiffany House. We still own and manage that. It provides 33 efficiency apartments for people 55 and over with disabilities and 62 and over who have the income restrictions that are required. But within the first week, they were still celebrating. Someone had a stroke. One of those residents, initial residents, had a stroke and had to be moved out to a nursing home. And without going into details, there's a lot of good facilities in town, but the one that this person went to was not one that I would want my mom to be in. So they felt that their mission was not completed. And they, early on in the HUD 202 program, were successful in getting a grant to renovate an old historic mansion called Gallagher Mansion with the help of the Weinberg Foundation. And we still own that. It's 40 apartments. But they looked for a place where they could find a cluster of buildings that we might get a hospital or a Baltimore City Eating Together program where blend in a supportive network of services to replicate this kind of a community we're sitting in today, a continuing care retirement community that people with means, as you so wonderfully stated, people with means, and it's very similarly, our goal is to provide this kind of a continuum of care integrated into a housing environment for low-income seniors in Baltimore City. So we competed David versus Goliath, long story, to get the rights to redevelop Memorial Stadium. We were successful. I invite you to stop downstairs as you walk down the steps. We're the first table on the left. You can get some information. You can come visit Stadium Place. You can support our development of the greenhouse, the first in the state of Maryland of the Robert Wood Johnson Replication Project, which you need to know that the governor was the first and foremost supporter of, $4.5 million of state funds in that $12 million project. So, come and visit and collaborate with us because we have a lot more work to do. So thank you very much for your